At some point, the stress around dieting becomes more toxic than the toxic food itself, becomes more inflammatory than the ingredients on the label or whatever you might be eating. I'm down here in Tampa, here for the weekend for a little business conference with Andy Elliott, Myron Gold, my boy Austin Laudette, all the other guys from the Elliott Army. All had an awesome weekend, just amazing time. There were times though where we ate some food that wasn't optimal, it wasn't anabolic and whatever. And getting into this fitness game, there's all sorts of levels to it, right? Like I went through every single one, I made every mistake in the book, and that's what I'm trying to showcase so that people don't fall victim to all the mistakes that I did, or if you are, like how to break free from that as soon as possible. One of the things is when you get into this like health and fitness game, you start tracking your macros, you start tracking your calories so that you can create a calorie deficit and lose body fat with a minimum protein requirement so that you retain and gain muscle mass as you're building strength and sleeping the best that you can. But after a certain point, you might start getting a little obsessive over that. And it's kind of an unsustainable way of doing things because your life sucks when you do that. Honestly, like the life of a bodybuilder is pretty horrible. Those guys just beat the crap out of themselves in the gym and they starve themselves, or they like overfeed themselves and put a lot of stress on their body, and it's just no way to live. Like nobody actually wants that life. I felt trapped for a while. Like I couldn't maintain my physique without severely diminishing the quality of my day-to-day enjoyment and whatnot. And like my energy and my vitality were way down, even though my physique was on fleek, was on 100, right? Like I built the best body I ever had, but was it worth it? And I used to be in life insurance sales, and I realized that deals were slipping through my fingers because I couldn't think fast on my feet. Like I looked great and I was confident from that, but I couldn't work harder and longer. I didn't have the creativity. I couldn't, hold a conversation as well as I could have back in the day, just because like the magic of my day-to-day life was sort of deteriorating because I was just trying to survive from the diet that I was putting myself through. And this is honestly like an important part of the journey, because after you experience that, you got to find a way out of it, right? Like you want to find the answers. You either just give up or you figure out a way to transcend that. And for me, that was biohacking, because my hormonal health just took a tank. I honestly just got destroyed after a while, and I figured to myself, I got to figure out my hormones. I got to figure out my health and improve my physique from the inside out. And that's how I got into micronutrients and the benefits of an animal-based diet. And anabolic priming was born, and I figured out about like cholesterol and the benefits of that as it's a precursor for testosterone. And the benefits of sugar and metabolism optimization for your thyroid and stuff, and diminishing all sorts of toxins in my environment, like getting a shower filter, having 100% cotton boxers so that I'm not putting polyester, crude oil based substances on my balls all day long. That's just going to nuke your fertility. Other things like making sure that you get sunlight, making sure that I'm taking vitamin D3 plus K2, making sure that I'm taking zinc, and most importantly, the most important supplement of all, magnesium. Because if you're magnesium deficient, you're not going to sleep very well. And if you just crush like 400 or 500 milligrams of magnesium glycinate before bed, you're going to knock out like a light. If you're sleeping better, everything works better. And for a while, I started seeing some serious exponential growth in my physique, in my aesthetics, in my energy, mental focus, my vitality, my mood. Everything went through the roof. And that was great for a while. But what also starts to happen is you start getting a little bit too obsessed with those details that you've figured out. Like you're learning all these tips and all these people are like giving you breakthroughs, and you're learning what to do, what not to do. And you're teaching your friends about it, and you're constantly talking about it, and you're so obsessed with everything. But now you're like hyper focused. You're hyper obsessive about the ingredient labels. You're super cognizant of whether or not the air quality is good enough, whether or not the clothing on your skin is good enough, whether or not you're moving right, whether or not you're drinking the right water. You know, tap water is a rabbit hole that you can go down. All these different things that it's important for you to have a handle on those, right? Like, I'm not saying to not do those things, but there's a point where it becomes a little bit too obsessive, to where the obsessive anticipation of whether or not you're eating optimally is actually the biggest detriment. Because if you're anticipating damaging effects of foods, or you're just like really over the top, dramatically focused on the food itself, you're going to drive up stress. So like cortisol, honestly estrogen too, adrenaline, all these stress hormones, which are antagonistic to your thyroid and your hormonal health, which your thyroid controls your metabolism. So if your thyroid health goes down, so does your metabolism, meaning that you have to eat less food to be in a deficit. Or if you were just maintaining for a while, now you are like in a surplus unexpectedly. Or if you were trying to bulk, now you might be eating a little bit too much food and you're gaining more fat than you are muscle. You seemingly plateau before you were actually supposed to. And honestly, it's just about quality of life too. Like, I think everybody can agree that we get into this health and fitness game to get some more freedom. We get into this health and fitness game so that we can get some peace of mind, so that we can focus on the things that actually matter around us, right? Get your six pack, get your shoulders, get your upper back, your upper chest, and all these different muscles which make you look like an absolute G, walking on the beach, looking like that guy, James Bond, Brad Pitt in Fight Club, whoever your hero is. You wanted to be that sort of a presence walking into a room in your family. You wanted to be the superhero for your kids, for your younger brothers, for anybody in your family that you want to call up to a higher standard, right? Like, I'm down here in Tampa. I'm at this event where I'm surrounded by people who are calling me to a higher standard, doing bigger and better things than me in business, and honestly, just life in general. Like, you want to really focus on becoming the best man, not getting the money. If you become the man, you'll get the money and all the other materialistic things. It's kind of like how they say, seek first the kingdom of God and you shall inherit all the things in the earth. I'm still learning, so if I butchered that, please don't hate me. But anyway, you really want to focus on your hormonal health, so all these other things come with it, but you can't lose sight of those specific goals, because if you're so focused on the details, you can't take advantage or enjoy all those different things that make this life amazing, right? These are all gifts, these are all blessings. And if you're so focused on the pains and the sorrows and the discomfort that is just honestly a part of life, but you don't have to focus on it because you've got your RAS, which is your reticular activation system, basically your selective focus. It's the same reason why if you buy a red Mustang, you see all the red Mustangs on the road. So if you're anticipating losing in a game of sports, right? Like, you're definitely going to lose the game. Versus if you have the mindset of a winner and you're determined to win the game, you're going to look for all the opportunities to win the game. Same deal with like closing a sale, closing a deal, walking up to a woman that you think is really attractive because you want to potentially see if she would be a good fit to be a wife. All these different things, you want to have your mindset primed for the right things so that you're not focused on the negatives, because if you're focused on the negatives, you're going to get the negatives. It goes back to this idea, your body is going to reflect whatever you expect. Your biology obeys your beliefs at the end of the day. So with that said, just remember, anything that you eat, you can kind of transcend the negative effects of it. Like this past weekend, I didn't have access to the anabolic priming diet at all times. Like when I first got here, we actually ate steaks with our bare hands in this hot tub, which is kind of funny. Now, hot tubs, like, love them or hate them, to some degree, they will kill your testosterone because you're kind of just like cooking your balls. I'm not going to not go in a hot tub if there's a hot tub around, and I feel like it though. But for good measure, just mentioning, don't be in a hot tub every damn day, cooking yourself, cooking your boys downstairs. But anyway, just like eating a steak with my bare hands in the hot tub with my boys, cracking jokes, laughing. That was honestly like a core memory. I've never done that. It was hilarious. It was like an intuitive thing. That's what life is all about, following your intuition. Like, peak health is an instinctual matter. It's like, anytime that you go against your body's natural intuition, when you're in a good state of hormonal health, that's you can't go wrong. You've got that internal compass, that God-given energy, that really the infinite intelligence that is always telling you what to do. If you are constantly eating junk food, not working out, putting yourself in stressful environments with stressful people, and all sorts of stuff like that, you can't really listen to your intuition because you're in fight or flight. But when you get your hormonal health in check and you become an anabolic powerhouse, as I like to say, and you're thriving in the way that God intended you to be, that's when you can listen to your intuition, right? And a good way to listen to your intuition too is putting yourself in environments where people are calling you up to a higher standard, because they're going to place these ideas and energies inside of you that will help you make the decisions at a bigger, higher level, right? Like, if people who are in a better position than I am, like they're in the position that I want to be in, if they're indoctrinating me with all their takeaways and mindsets and different, life beliefs and lifestyles and whatnot, I'm just going to get called to that higher standard indirectly, subconsciously in a way. That's why the power of proximity is so important. I'm down here with one of my clients, Austin Laudet. He's on Andy's team. And like, just getting around him, I'm learning from him just as much as he is for me. Like, we went to the gym yesterday and I'm telling him what to focus on, especially with diet too. We were at the restaurant last night as well, and he was asking me like, what am I going to order on this menu? I'm asking him like, what do you think? And just mentioning how, you want to always focus on getting as much protein as you can in your staple meals. Yesterday we had a crazy day, so we didn't really have the perfect setup in terms of having like big slab of protein in the beginning of the day, big slab of protein in the end of the day, so that you can hit that minimum protein number without like protein shakes or other dietary supplements that honestly will nuke your hormonal health. But we didn't have the perfect food, and still I was just telling him, dude, this is a time where we did a full workout for like 2 hours. We went to the gym. We're playing spike ball on the beach for hours. My hips are rocked right now. My hips and my glutes. And I worked myself so hard yesterday. It almost didn't matter what I ate. I was probably still going to be in a deficit. So this is the same for him. And I basically gave him the permission to, like, you don't have to focus so heavily on the ingredients or like what you're actually about to eat for dinner. I just always mention, hey, for good measure, follow the guidelines. Big slab of protein. And the other practical advice would be stop eating when you're not hungry anymore. But if all else, focus on the reason that you're there. We went out with like 10 to 15 people. We're just laughing, talking about the takeaways from the event and what we learned and what we, the insights that we had in ourselves and the people around us throughout the weekend. Just sharing wins, sharing like breakthroughs and different, mindset shifts that we've had. And that's the reason that we went there. It wasn't to get the perfect food. That's what I'm trying to get at. We went there to enjoy our time together, not to get the perfect food. If you can do both, great. And honestly, like, I try to do that. But when I'm at home alone, like, that's different. I'm going to obviously supercharge my health with the right foods. But when I'm out and about with friends, family, associates, business partners, and just honestly people that I like spending time around, I don't want to care about my macros, whether or not there's seed oils in it. And if I expect that food is going to give me a negative effect, it definitely will. So I just try to tell all my clients, Austin and other people alike, keep your mind focused on the right things. If you keep it focused on the wrong things, you're going to get the wrong results. And by this way, you can transcend the negative effects of whatever you're doing, just like the blue zone heavy smokers, that they smoke profusely, but they do all these other things, including a holistic diet, having deep social family ties and connections and living purposeful lives, working the land, getting sunlight, different things like this. And it's honestly the mindset too. They're not expecting negative effects from the smoking, so they don't experience them. You can kind of gaslight yourself into whatever sort of digestion state that you want. Like if you focus on the real things that matter, and you're not focused on like, oh, this is going to hurt my digestion. If you just kind of like tell yourself, yeah, it's actually going to help my digestion. Like for me, I always eat ice cream at night, but I eat like either Haagen-Dazs or like raw ice cream, which is just cream, milk, egg yolks, vanilla extract, and maybe some sugar or honey, whatever it is, right? It's not like I'm going to Dairy Queen or like Friendly's or one of these other places that has like a bunch of seed oils and all this different stuff. But if I do ever want to get soft serve with my friends or family and have an awesome time together, I'm not going to be focused on that. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this ice cream right now with the people that I love, having fun, enjoying the taste of this delicious food, it's actually going to help me. It's going to lower my cortisol, which is going to allow my vagal tone to go up, and I'm going to digest this food 10 times more efficiently than the average guy who's eating healthier ice cream, but thinking that it's not the optimal one for him. So just some takeaways from the weekend, and I'm living, breathing this just as much as I preach it, guys. Like day to day, this is what I really think, and this is why I'm looking absolutely disgustingly shredded, even though I ate like not the optimal food over the weekend. So hope you enjoyed your weekend. I'll see you guys next time. If you want to work closely with me, there's going to be a link in the description. No pressure, but this is the stuff that I talk about with my coaching clients. We talk about it a lot more personally and what each guy deals with on a specific basis, because it's always different. You know, we all got different lifestyles, different responsibilities, different goals, and different tendencies, but it's all about focusing on the right things and getting in proximity to people like me or my clients, or the other people that I'll probably send you so that you can learn more about this stuff that I talk about, and they can dive in deeper to like the science if you really want to focus on that stuff. You know, that's the power of being in a group like this. So if you want more information about that, you know, book a call with me. You'll see me, nobody else, no sales guys. You're not going to get like a VA on a call with you or like texting you from some random number. It's actually going to be me. And we can talk more about your goals and what you're looking to achieve with your physique, with your mind, you know, your spirit, and all the rest that comes along with this amazing thing that we call our health. So talk to you guys soon. Peace.